Welcome to another episode of Kurdistan This Week, where we bring you the latest in the Kurdistan region from NRT Studios in Somani. The Kurdistan Parliament will hold a session on Saturday to consider a bill that will reactivate the Kurdistan region's presidency law, according to a statement from the Speaker's office. Parliament Speaker Vala Farid has asked lawmakers to convene on March 30th in order to have a first reading for a bill jointly proposed by the Kurdistan Democratic Party, Goran, and the reserved minority representatives that would amend the suspended presidency law. The bill would enable Parliament to elect a president, according to its authors, but would not lay out what powers the president would ultimately wield. That would be decided at a future date during the process of writing the Kurdistan region's constitution. If the bill is approved by Parliament, it will then advance for a second reading. Several different bills were submitted to the Speaker's office, but only the joint KDP-Goran bill was advanced to the Legislative Committee. This drew criticism from the head of the New Generation Movement caucus, Kawa Abdul Qadir, who said that all the proposals should at least get a hearing in committee. The passage of the bill would represent a distinct victory for the KDP, whose primary goal since the parliamentary elections in September has been the reactivation of the presidency law. It has nominated current KRG Prime Minister Nechervan Barzani as its candidate for president. It also represents a compromise by Goran, which has sought to achieve the constitutional primacy of Parliament. Its caucus chief, Ali Hamasalit, hailed the fact that Parliament would elect the president and said that the powers of the presidency were still up for debate. The Kurdistan region has had its rainiest winter in decades, authorities have reported. An especially heavy wave of rain over the past week has caused water levels in the region's rivers and reservoirs to rise, leading officials to warn of potentially damaging floods. On Thursday, officials at Dukan Dam began opening several sluice gates, increasing downstream flows on the Little Zab. They warned that rising water levels could damage property along the riverbanks and told people to stay far back from the fast-moving water. Officials at Darbandikan Dam took similar measures. The upper portion of that dam suffered minor damage in an earlier earthquake, but the authorities said that there was no danger despite the heavy rains. Since the beginning of the rainy season, according to the KRG's General Directorate of Meteorology and Seismology, Erbil has received 724 millimeters of rain, Somani 1,012 millimeters, Duhok 912 millimeters, Halabja 905 millimeters, Dukan 772 millimeters, Kirkuk 401 millimeters. Topping the list, however, is the Megasor district in northern Erbil Governorate, with 1,846 millimeters of rain so far. Detainees in the Kurdistan region are not being rehabilitated during their incarceration because of the limited number of social workers in the jails, a senior Asaish official has said. General Director of the Asaish in Somani, Hassan Nouri, said during an interview with Voice of America on Wednesday that many detainees had in fact engaged in additional criminal behaviors while serving jail time. Nouri added that 80% of those who had served sentences for drug offenses continued to use after they were released from jail and called on the KRG to employ additional social workers in the region's jails in order to rehabilitate prisoners. General Director of Social Reform, Ahmed Najmuddin, said in February that 2,074 prisoners had benefited from the public pardons law in 2018. There are 3,450 prisoners currently serving jail time in the Kurdistan region. The KRG's Interior Ministry announced on Sunday that it was forming a task force to shut down illegal oil refineries operating in the Kurdistan region. The Interior Ministry said in its order that it would form 3 special joint task forces in the provinces of Erbil, Somani, and Duhok. Members of the Civil Defense Forces, the police, the Asaish, the Oil and Gas Protection Police, and the Environment and Forest Police will be part of the effort. In Erbil and Duhok, the Zeravani Peshmerga Command will also be involved. More than 200 illicit refineries are believed to be in operation in the Kurdistan region, despite repeated efforts since 2008 to close them. They contribute to pollution, and leaks can harm agricultural land and water resources. Their products are also often trafficked by smugglers. The region's General Board of Tourism said on Thursday that approximately 243,000 tourists visited the region over a period of 10 days this month for Newroz. The tourism board said in a statement that the figure included arrivals through border crossings and airports, as well as checkpoints between central Iraq and the region between March 12th and 22nd. 73% of those tourists came from central Iraq, 16% from Iran, 6% from Turkey, and 5% from other countries, according to the region's Board of Tourism. It represented a slight increase from last year's Newroz celebrations. The KRG has plans to make the tourism sector a major source of revenue by launching development projects and attracting foreigners to the region, according to authorities. Thanks for tuning into this episode of Kurdistan This Week. If you'd like more information on these stories and others, check out our website, nrttv.com/en, and be sure to like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter.